Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is ScopeSF and I don't normally do this. I try not to put in like separate non-gameplay intros into my videos. Every now and again, if I think there's something relatively new or important to talk about, I'll do this every now and again. I think I actually did this before when I tried the overpowered version of Book of the Dead on Athena Jungle and Terra Jungle way back when. But yeah, now we're kind of doing something similar with a new kind of like mindset going into Tsukuyomi solo, which I think is going to help a lot of people. So when I recently watched Fine OK's like comprehensive guide on Tsukuyomi, and I'm not going to argue against anything he says. I think he's pretty much hit the nail on the head with just about everything. But when I tried picking him up, I think there's like a vast difference between me being, I'd say I'm slightly above average when it comes to playing this game, and he's just a flat-out professional who knows way more than what we're talking about. So when he goes into Tsukuyomi solo, he is able to handle his early game, able to handle his mid game, and then the late game is what comes out on top. When I'm doing it, I know I can handle the late game incredibly well, but I struggle with the early and the mid game. And a lot of it does come down to me not being the perfect player. I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes that I need to kind of tackle with and eventually learn to overcome. But as I'm going through that learning process, in the meantime, I also believe that if something doesn't always work out, there could just be an alternative answer to look for and implement an alternative in order to either compensate for the lack of whatever else I need to get on Final K's level, or to eventually just kind of find my own path. And that's essentially what I did. So when it comes to Tsukuyomi solo, first off, even though he doesn't always look it, I think he's an absolutely fantastic solo laner, probably one of the best late game solo laners, because if you look at his abilities, somehow this kind of got through the god design, but you know, his one has a movement speed steal in addition to dealing damage. So you know, here's his one, because it's a movement speed steal, yes, he's getting the movement speed, but he's also slowing the enemy effectively when he does this. So, he has the movement speed steal on his 1, plus the damage. On his 2, he has 2 potential disarms and a stun on an ability that also does damage. And then his 3 just also has a slow on it, in addition to dealing damage. So all 3 of his basic abilities have some sort of either light or hard, or you know, light or moderate or whatever kind of crowd control on them, in addition to dealing damage. Yes, his ultimate doesn't really have crowd control. You don't need it because you're just being a ninja at that point. It doesn't matter. It does a lot of damage. So 4 damaging abilities, 3 of which have some sort of crowd control. He is absolutely going to be an asset for the late game team fights. When he can get in there, he's going to have a relatively tanky build, so he's not going to be taking as much damage, and he's just going to be disrupting anyone that he stacks up against just between crowd control and damage. So, and that's saying a lot more about this character than we could possibly say about a lot of warriors. Like, you know, if you ask pro players what traditional solo laners they don't like and why, they might say something along the lines of, oh, okay, well, I don't like this warrior as my solo laner because when we get to the late game team fights, he's just a do-nothing character. So you're talking about, like, your Chocks, to some extent, your Wukongs, you know, just, like, certain characters like that, where, you know, they get into the team fights, and they might do some ability dumping, and maybe disrupt the backline a little bit, But if everybody just turns around and blows up this do-nothing warrior that doesn't do anything during the team fights, then it just lets everybody else roam free. So Tsukuyomi does not have that problem just because of how stacked his kit really is. And I don't think his kit needs to be changed. I don't think he's the dominance that he was when he was first released. I think his numbers are fine. I think his kit is fine. But his kit has a lot of strengths to them. And that's why, if you're going to take those strengths and make use of them, the best way to do it, honestly, is to put him in solo lane. But when I do put him in solo lane, let's look at the God Builder for a minute, because this is what the meat and potatoes of this is going to be. When FineOK said it, obviously you're going to start Bluestone Pendant for physical power is nice, the HP5 and MP5 are huge, and then you get a little bit of tick damage off of this, so you start that. And eventually you'll build it into the big Bluestone later in the game. But then he also says, as being like the tanky character, you're going to want to go what he called the Superman build, which is basically just, it's the big meta Soul Lane build right now, where you're just rushing Soul Eater and then rushing Glad Shield. And the reason you're essentially doing this is because Tsukuyomi has 4 damaging abilities, kind of like as we already went over, and Bluestone and Soul Eater and Glad Shield, as you can see, looking at Glad Shield's passive here, they are very good at proccing all of these item effects just between these first 3 items. So if you're rushing into being like the late game tank and you're trying to get this on as soon as possible, then yeah, these items are kind of where you start. And I think FineOK and other professional players that are, let's be fair, are not representative of the average Smite player. I think they can get away with something like this because they know more about how the character works and how the lane works. That they can compensate for Tsukuyomi's biggest weakness, which is this guy does not have wave clear. As I've been playing him, I've been struggling so much to clear the wave, which does a lot of things against this character. You can't fight when you don't have wave clear, because if your opponent has more wave clear than you and they just outdamage your wave, all of a sudden it's not you going into a 1v1, it's you going into you versus them plus their wave. So they're just going to get a ton of extra damage just from their wave attacking you if you're trying to brawl them. So you can't really brawl anybody if you don't have sufficient wave clear. And because of that, you're going to be losing pressure. So you can't contest things like Totem of Coup. You might have some trouble if they're really pressuring you to clear your own blue buff. And what makes it even worse is that depending on how much of a difference of wave clear there is, you're just going to be losing out on so much golden experience, and just because their minion waves are going to be going under your tower, and you're losing out, and like this builds up over time. Like you might not technically miss any of, you're not zeroing out on all the golden experience from minions like you used to do back in the old seasons, but you're losing so much over time just because they take tower shots and they don't give as much because they were hit by towers, that eventually all this builds up and you're gonna fall very far behind very quickly. And then it's just going to get to the point where, if you fall behind way too hard because you're not being able to build your items, you're not being able to get the experience you need for levels, so you can't get more health, more mana, more MP5, anything like that, eventually it's just going to get to the point where they will tower dive you, and they will not be punished for it. Like, if you have a god tier jungler, then yeah, they could go over the rotations and kind of clean up on that, but you're still going to be oppressed and put really, really far behind because of that. And despite Tsukuyomi being an incredible late game solo laner, all of his problems stem from his early game and part of his mid game because he just doesn't have any wave clear. So that's what I noticed when I tried playing him. I can imagine that other average players are going to experience the same thing. So that is the problem that I wanted to tackle with this character, and I think I came up with a solution that I think at least kind of works. It's not perfect, but it does put him in a better situation early game than this standard build normally goes early game. And that would be, when you start the game, you do go Bluestone Pendant, and then you're going to go Tier 1 Mace as you start, plus, if you get your health pots, everything like that, that's essentially what that looks like. And then your first item is going to be Crusher. The reason you go Crusher is because, let's relook at it again. Now, between this item, 45 physical power. So, right off the bat, I don't know if you saw Evolve Soul... I forget exactly what Evolve Soul Eater has, actually. I forget how much power it gives you overall. But I'm pretty sure that the 45 physical power from the Crusher is more than what Evolve Soul Eater does. Or, if nothing else, it's kind of like on par. But once you finish Crusher, then you're going to have the same amount of power at least. It does have 15 physical penetration, so that does actually ultimately make it stronger than Soul Eater, I'm pretty sure. Is there a way I can find this? Okay, no, so Soul Eater does have 10% physical penetration. Doesn't matter too much, because this is like a better late game item, but you're still going to be building this next anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter. The big thing about Crusher, get back on track. The big thing about Crusher is it's passive. Enemies, so also minions, hit by your damaging abilities, take an additional 20 physical damage plus 10% or 20% of your physical power over 2 seconds. This doesn't sound like very high in terms of numbers, but this is huge when you combine it with Bluestone Pendant in order to just get your wave clear, because now you have your first two items are dealing additional damage over time in addition to the damage that your abilities are already doing. And again, your Crusher is going to proc on everything, so we're not just talking about, oh, you're getting an additional Crusher passive just from your 1. You're also getting it from your 3. And I found that, like, when you do this rush in particular, you will absolutely be clearing wave. Like, when I tried the Soul Eater rushes before, I couldn't clear wave at level 7, level 10, level 16, level 20, because as the game goes on, the minions just kind of become stronger and stronger, so any damage and items that I do build to kind of compensate for that just kind of fall to the wayside anyway, because minions are just stronger as the game goes on. But with Crusher, I'm finding that in the early game, if I can survive for the first few levels, and by the time I hit my level 5, level 6, level 7, whatever, and I can build Crusher and teleport back to wave, once I hit that level 7 mark in the, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 minute period, I will be clearing the wave. The passive from these two, or the passives from these two items are going to be enough damage to fully clear the wave. And now, all of a sudden, everything I talked about earlier, the fact that you would otherwise be losing pressure, the fact that you'd be losing gold and experience, the fact that you can't fight, all of that has gone to the wayside. Once you are able to start clearing wave, you are alleviating most, if not all, of the pressure that the enemy solo laner can put on you, and that opens up the rest of the game really, really well. And then, of course, from here, you do your standard builds. So you are absolutely going to be going your Soul Eater. You are absolutely going to be your Gladiator Shield. You are absolutely going to be going your Genji's Guard. Everything else is kind of flex pick after that. But if you go to the full tank build, like you're picking up your Mantle of Discord, and this right here is already, I believe, your full 6 items. Yeah, so even with a build like this, each of these items gives 10% cooldown, so you're reaching your 40% cooldown off of that by the time you hit late game. You're going to have your Soul Eater stacked even probably by the time before you finish your Glad Shield 3rd item, so that doesn't really come into play. And if you really absolutely needed to sell Crusher during the late game for, I don't know, Spectral is always nice. Okay, honestly, I'm just kind of rehashing. Just go watch FinoK's video for like a full idea of a Tsukuyomi build. But on my end, I genuinely 100% have found that Crusher is at least able to help you stabilize during the early game just with its passive and help with the wave clear, alleviate pressure, and it almost makes Tsukuyomi feel viable as a contender in the solo lane during the laning phase, as opposed to, oh, it's okay guys, I'm throwing, but don't worry, once we hit late game I might be able to do something. That's never a good mindset to have. But yeah, with this, like I'm saying, I don't think you have to have that mindset. So I've been giving it a try. I do have one piece of gameplay footage to follow this up, kind of like as evidence of what I'm talking about. It does show how Tsukuyomi, at least for me, struggles in the early game, and of course I admit you could watch over it, and there are going to be plenty of mistakes that I make during that time, as I'm learning to get better at Tsukuyomi. But most of those mistakes are going to be happening partially in the early game, but then also mostly in the mid game when I try to take team fights and I don't really even have a build going on. That is just me being stupid on my part. So if you could kind of forgive on that one, please do. But then you'll see, since I haven't fallen so far to the wayside, I was able to reach my late game, and I have become a credit to the team because of that. So yeah, like I said, as video evidence, enjoy the gameplay, and hopefully you will see similar results if you're trying to pick up Tsukuyomi solo.
The hunt begins.
Let's retry this.
I am not gonna play jungle. I am sorry, sir.
Okay, we take those. We'll see if he wants the Cocoa Puff skin.
I just need to make it through tomorrow.
Tomorrow
I have to give some very bad news to a jurisdiction that didn't even realize you're about to get crushed by a fucking rule that they didn't even know mattered, because the people in charge 2 years ago did absolutely nothing when they were told to follow the rule. I'm mad about it. It's gonna be rough tomorrow.
So which hunter do you think is solo?
AMC.
Werewolves, witches, trolls, just like
I have no evidence.
Oh.
You're a fish.
So, did you know, Nate, this skin has a stand? Here, check it out. The Waddle Doll! Aren't I funny? Aren't I so funny? I'm so fucking. Oh, you got the clap!
Luck is for losers. Woo hoo.
That's not something you should say so excitedly. That's usually a bad thing.
I mean, it's Ishtar. It's to be expected.
All is fair in love and war. It's an Ishtar solo.
I'm serious, never seen that before.
I love when we get into comps where we can't clear way faster than them. I think it's great.
It couldn't be your fault for picking Gov.
No, that's a fine ball.
Why are you keeping it up there then? Don't hit them into the tower with your autos.
Hey, you died.
Wait, who left the game? Nobody. Okay. You know, it's got first blood gold, so that doesn't matter.
You might have done a lot more than you were standing back and shielding.
Your left tower is under attack.
On my way.
Careful, they're coming. I hit it with the shockwave and I missed them by like.
Neither have mana, we're going in. Go.
Okay.
Your middle tower is under attack.
See beads.
Your right tower is
You
under
owe me
attack.
for that.
No need for the fancy stuff.
This up? It is not. Okay.
Almost. It's flying right now.
Okay.
As far away as you can possibly be from it. see you with the timer on the deck.
Having fun over there, George?
Sorry. Nope.
No, you're not having fun?
Less fun. Less fun. I'm about to.
Fight of a werewolf you should worry about.
It was not bussing.
Take all the we can.
Your middle tower is under attack. Enemy ultimate down. Enemy missing middle.
Enemy missing.
After this, go straight for our purple. What's up? Alright, tell me back.
It's getting the chalice, but if you really want to auto these. And then walk away. After you already got it. Okay.
Yep.
You're very slow, James.
I don't see Ares. Homebot is here.
I am gonna have to try and abandon you, because I will have mana I need back.
These beautiful blades just need a good shot.
Your right tower is under attack.
Oh, Ares is here.
A teammate did a thing.
Oh, nice save. Holy fuck.
Enemy missing.
You were supposed to back off, bro.
James sees out my purple.
An ally has been
Oh, god damn it.
paying them.
I saved the fucking cuckoo, and he decides to go in.
Smells like someone's cooking up a kill.
Not even close. Let's go. Yeah, that's not close. Probably just did.
Nope. No eyes on him.
There.
Your middle tower is under attack.
No need for the fancy stuff.
Oh, I heard Homebots. Oh, Anubis is coming in, Nate. Run.
Interesting.
Enemy has fully powered their obelisk.
Go failure here.
Enemy missing middle. Be careful.
There's still random in the jungle, but she shouldn't be able to, like.
There's Anubis there.
Fuck.
Can't be missing your ult, man.
Well, that was...
Did you know that dying is a fire giant has a rock? An enemy has been slain.
It was a big long fight.
Tower is under attack.
The Juggernaut's over on my side of the map. I'll call out whenever I see it coming down.
Alright, I have to back after this wave. Actually, I
I'm backing that close to AC.
I can do purple.
Bats is
Humbug's
here. What a good word I put down.
Oh god! Ares, fuck.
Man, I just tore that apart.
I'm just gonna start backing them.
Enemy missing.
Enemy missing middle. Ultimate is ready.
Staying in the tower line.
Enemy missing middle.
Getting anything out of this, buddy? Having fun? Or
Your left
Retreat.
tower.
Enemy spotted.
Now let me ward up over here.
there's AMC.
Gotta go mid, there's 3 of them there.
Trap.
Dying is your only weakness.
Yeah, that's what you have to do without zombies.
The smoke. Yeah. Your right
Yes.
tower is under attack.
Bots over here again.
Killing spree. Don't you even feel a little bit bad?
Dropped a ward on this.
Defend right lane.
Your right tower is under attack.
Paley's actually walking in circles in the jungle.
You hate to see it.
And doesn't get away. Fantastic. Also dropped my blue while I was dead. There's no way I'm making that.
Your left tower is under attack.
Cuckoo, please.
One and 0, and 2 levels behind. Scott just doesn't provide any pressure.
Enemy An ally has been slain. Ugh. Somebody that's not you killed a guy.
Oh god. Oh god!
Double bubble, toil in trouble.
Your middle tower is under attack.
No!
Left.
You fucking monkey! Their Ishtar took a trip to mid lane.
What'd you get off of it?
A
Okay,
kill on me.
3-man gank and duo, that's what we got.
Give me a second.
Enemy missing middle.
Your left tower.
Don't have a second.
Fight me! Rampage! Enemy demons, funky baby.
It was close, but
There's got my dash with this chains too. I've gotten a little bit more damage off. Could help.
Ready for anything.
An enemy has been smote.
There's Ishtar ult over there.
yes.
Like, what are you just standing there for, Cuckoo?
Gank left lane.
Robot's behind you guys in mid.
Maybe you should keep an eye on that guy. An enemy has been slain.
Nice job.
There's that.
You're not as dumb as you look.
Yeah, we got both ults on us. They're going into right jungle.
There's coming left. Okay, you said right jungle. Yeah, that actually did matter a little bit. I would not have stayed if you had said that correctly.
Yeah, sorry. Coming.
Okay.
Out of mana. Apologies are
An
for
ally
the
has been
weak.
slain.
Just need you to be clear.
Your team has fully powered the obelisk.
These beautiful blades just need a good sharpen.
Hello, Ares.
Enemy missing middle. Your left tower is under attack. Your left tower has been destroyed. Your right tower is under attack.
Unbet's here too.
I can teleport to the board behind him.
How do you stop
that's
that
all.
which has no
Alright.
life?
They're all the way up there.
Oh, they need to kill that Anubis and get the fuck out.
An ally has been slain. How much do you think? Dribbles are a girl's best friend.
Yeah, I should have tried to save them.
The enemy team has destroyed the Golden Fury.
You're just pathetic.
The big problem is with our mid is that it keeps feeling like every time we kill Anubis, we're losing 1 or 2 people because everybody just blind face tanks us damage. I have no idea what he's trying to say there.
Road is mine. Ultimate is ready. Enemy spotted.
A teammate did a thing.
On my way.
Yeah, I'm going mid now. I'm dead.
An ally has been slain.
Yep.
Two for the show. Maybe you should keep an eye on that guy.
Middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Dying is bad for you.
The enemy team has destroyed the pirates. Your right tower is under attack.
Oh.
Enemy missing.
And I'm jumping.
That looked like it hurt.
What was used?
An enemy has been slain.
Homebot's ult.
Dink! Ultimate is ready!
Just a roll.
There you guys go.
DMC was in left somewhere pushing up the wave, but I should either push mid tower or go to gold.
I would go if it's up.
Fury!
It is, yeah.
IMC.
On my way!
Good job.
Teleport 2.
Retreat!
Alright, so we got that.
Gold. Coming back middle. Hopefully there's nothing left for me to do in left right now.
Killing spree. Don't you even feel a little bit
Nice
bad?
pick. Focus in team fights should be the 10 out of 1 bets.
That's his ult down.
Is it Ishtar ult?
Away.
Ares ult.
There is ult.
An ally has been slain.
God, that was a ton of damage.
Yeah, I guess they're dead. Really? Only a double.
Good damage, good damage.
Shut down.
Do not have much health. Can't really risk you
Attack middle
passing it
lane.
off to me.
Sounds like someone's cooking up a killing spree.
Nice.
Hey, wait a minute. There's an extra body here.
We do fire, or Anubis is still up.
We can. I'm very low for fire, but alright, let's do it.
On my way!
Fuck it.
Oh, he's not coming for it. We're good.
Oh, yeah, it's free.
Fire.
Fire. Yep.
Great sweep, guys. I almost caught up. No, I didn't catch up with yet.
Good fight in mid started by whatever happened to get that pick on Anubis.
Yeah.
Attack left lane!
We set up to try and win a fight, get whatever over there, and have Oni spawn. Let us take it.
Be careful!
Bye, bitch.
Nice job.
Bye, bitch.
Your
You do.
team has fully
do.
powered the obelisk.
Oh, Hobots is coming for me. Hobots is somewhere around here.
He's up there.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
Whereas I thought we would be, but we have our two boys standing behind a gold tree pit for some reason.
Found Ares.
Your right tower is
it's not you, kill the guy. An enemy has been slain.
That was good.
It's coming a little bit.
Oh god, I'll miss you guys.
Has been slain. How much do you think he
Attack middle lane! Attack middle lane!
Oh no, I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm running.
Don't attack mid.
You two wanna
Let me
Oh my
back,
God.
and I have teleport for that on that ward. That's not a ward I could teleport to.
there's one.
Thank you.
Then again, actually, it's almost done, but
now
you
I
wanna
have
do
been
that?
slain. Ugh. Teammates started.
It's the thought that counts.
I crit more than I thought I would. Because I am just now going to push that player. Just send this off down the lane and then go head over towards y'all.
Yep. Let me grab one more ward and we're good to go.
Actually, I say y'all, but
Actually, I caught up the areas. Good.
Cuckoo's sitting in base, so
It's probably waiting to finish open, I think.
don't want to be by myself.
Oh my god.
That happens.
Alright.
Careful, George, I think they're coming to you.
Ares was.
Well, now they didn't.
I'm gonna push up A lane somewhere where we have any minions.
Yep.
I'm bouncing.
After dash. That's not bad at all. Nice.
He just dropped that on me. Holy shit, push!
Just careful.
Talk about
We only have 3 of us here. There's
talk
3 of
about a
us.
wet your pants
Coming from
moment.
mid, careful. It's a 3v4.
Yep, get out, get out, get out.
The fire's gone.
Talk about a wet your pants moment.
Two of them over on the right side. If we have another sentry for that.
I do. If you guys could take it away.
No, they're mad. Won't they just roll in and ult them?
Yeah.
We're close. I'm taking the Phoenix if I can. Ares here.
You should keep an eye on that guy.
Nice. Alright, Nate, we gotta get out, we gotta get out.
There
Or
we go, there
never
we go,
mind.
there we go, there we go, there we go.
Or never fucking mind.
Killing spree.
Yeah, fuck him up!
Vegas.
Yes!
Kill the guy.
Alright, cool, we win.
Nice. Just end it, yeah. Nice, good
Oh,
stuff.
Max range.
Oh.
Phoenix.
I'm the only winner here.
God. I got some lucky saves with that fucking shield. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit.